සම්පූරිතා පමිත පාරමිතා බලේන විද්වංසියෝ කිල කිලේස සමෝහජාලං චේනේව ලන්ද අරහං අරහෝති නාමං වන්දාමි බුද්ධ මමලං අදයේ ඨපෙත්වා නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Arogya Paramalabha Santutti Paramandanam Vissasa Paramanyati Nibbana Paramang Sukham. Health is the highest gain. Happiness is the greatest treasure. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Nibbana is the highest bliss. Good evening for everyone. Dear friends in the Dhamma, first of all, I would like to welcome all of you who came to the Bhavana Society, West Virginia. At this moment, we are going to listen to Buddha's message. The most valuable thing that we receive in this life is that the Buddha's message. For that, we have been doing a lot of good activities, meritorious deeds for eons in our previous lives. As a result of doing good activities and visions, we have received the highest message of the Supreme Buddha. The Buddha says very clearly, living as a human being is a very rare chance. Being born in this human realm is a very rare chance. Not only that, listening to this message, the Buddha's message also very rare. As human beings, we have received these valuable things, very rare things. Therefore, we should be happy. And also, the very special thing, Buddhism completely explains the path of happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone who was born in this world. All Buddhist doctrines focus on happiness. Buddha says, Santutti Paramandanam. Happiness or contentment is the greatest treasure. Arogya Paramalabha. Health is the highest gain. And Vissasa Paramanyati. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Nibbana Paraman Sukham. Nibbana or enlightenment is the highest bliss. This is the Buddha's message in short. The Buddha says, Sacitta Paryodapanam, purifying one's mind. This is the main message of the Buddha, purifying one's mind. Why do we need to purify our mind? Whenever our mind is polluted with negative thoughts such as craving, anger and delusion, actually we have no happiness. Even though you are well educated, although you are very rich, if you are angry with someone, are you happy? No, we are not happy. Even though we are well educated and rich, if our mind is lustful, at that moment we are not happy because of polluted mind. The main purpose of everyone is that happiness. For that Buddha says, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶. The main advice of Buddhism is that purifying one's mind. Buddha says very clearly, mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta manomaya. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is chief. Mind made day. If someone does something with a pure mind, physically, verbally or mentally, happiness follows him because of pure mind. On the other side, if someone does something with a wicked mind, physically, verbally or mentally, suffering follows him because of impure mind. This is the foundation of Buddhist teachings. Whenever our mind is pure and calm, we are happy. Whenever our minds are wicked, we are unhappy, we are suffering. If we trust in this message, we always try to keep our mind pure and calm. Why is that? We don't like to suffer. No one likes suffering. Everyone likes happiness. For that, we have to keep our mind pure and calm. Anger and craving are the main unwholesome defilements, and ignorance as well. Craving, anger, and delusion. These are the main negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. Buddhist teachings always focus on purifying our minds from these negative thoughts, craving, anger, and delusion. Whenever we are angry, we are controlled by the outside world. The one who can make you angry will become your master, since you are controlled by that person. Do you like it? No one likes it. The one who can make you angry will become your master. The one who can make you lustful will become your master, since you are controlled by that person. Buddhism explains the way how we overcome these negativities from our minds for our freedom, liberation, emancipation, and enlightenment. Buddhism explains the path for the liberation, freedom. Freedom is the main purpose of everyone. Therefore, we have to purify our mind again and again from these negative thoughts. For that, we have to cultivate our right understanding, sammaditthi. The exalted one says, sammaditthi purejavan. Sammaditthi purejavan. Mindfulness or right understanding is the forerunner. Right understanding is the forerunner. If you have right understanding, we are aware of our minds. As soon as some thoughts come to our minds, we immediately understand what are the thoughts that I have at this moment. As a result of this practice, we are able to overcome our negative thoughts. And also, we can be happy at this moment. Happiness should be at this immediate moment. But unfortunately, we always find happiness in the future. We always wish a better tomorrow. That tomorrow never comes until we die. If a real happiness, it should be in this present moment. If we think our happiness will come tomorrow or in the future, we are seeking happiness, but we are not enjoying happiness. Until we die, unfortunately, we are seeking happiness, but we are not enjoying happiness. Buddhism explains the path how we enjoy happiness at this present moment. For that, we have to purify our mind to the maximum level. For that, Buddha has explained the path very clearly. The Buddhist teachings has an order. Buddha says this message is like the ocean. The ocean deepens gradually from the beach to the deeper water. Buddha's message also like that. It deepens gradually, little by little. The very first step is that practicing generosity. As you always practice, you are always ready to offer something to someone who are needed in something. Buddha says, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓾. He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. When our mind is so generous, we are so happy. When your home has a almsgiving, at that day you are so generous, you are so happy. Anyone can come to your home. Anyone can go anywhere in your home. No rules, no regulations, no barriers. When there is an almsgiving in your home. But after that day, nobody can come like that. But when your almsgiving day, your mind is so generous, because of that anyone can come to your home and they can behave anywhere at home. This is the nature of our generosity. That is why Buddha says, 𝒮𝓃 He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. Buddha advises us to practice this generosity as much as you can with a pure mind. As a result of practicing generosity correctly, honestly, and righteously, we will receive a very special benefit, which is that good association. Your generosity decides how much association that you have already received. Good association means you should receive the correct message of the Buddha as the result of practicing generosity. The next step of our purification of minds that practicing 𝒃 or virtue, especially practicing 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, and abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. These are the 5 precepts. He who practices these 5 precepts gives the fearlessness to the world. 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐢𝐻𝑒𝐢𝐻. 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐢𝐻𝑒𝐢𝐻. He who practices these 5 precepts, he spread loving kindness to the world. If your children practice these 5 precepts, have no fear, you have no fear, no doubt, anyone, they can go anywhere. Since you are confident in that your children practice these 5 precepts. Even though your children have doctorates, if they don't practice 5 precepts, are you happy? Not, you are not happy. If your children can proudly say that my mom, my dad, I practice these 5 precepts correctly, definitely, that confidence is better than your children have double doctorates. If your parents practice these 5 precepts, then you respect them, you love really them because of these qualities. Therefore, please pay your attention to practice these 5 precepts. Buddhism always encourages us to practice these 5 precepts. The more we practice the Panchasila, the more you are happier. This is the way how we gain the real happiness, how we overcome suffering. Sila is the second step of our spiritual path. The third one, practicing metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation. We mostly suffer because of anger. Whenever we are angry, we have no happiness. Then everything that we earned is useless. That is why Buddha says, Yantan santam padang abhisamecha sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitātā. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation, contemplating on Dasan, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again we think of this sentence. Mentally, physically, verbally, in these 3 doors, we practice metta bhavana. When we speak something, we speak everything with loving kindness. When we do something physically, we do all activities with metta bhavana. When we think something, when we remember someone, immediately we come to metta bhavana, loving kindness. It means we are mentally healthy. If we are angry, actually we are not mentally healthy. Buddha says, let's live happily without anger among the people who are angry. This is our skill. This is our proficiency. Let's live happily without anger among the people who are angry. This is our skill. As the result of practicing metta bhavana, Buddha says the highest attitude of practicing metta bhavana, as soon as we see a person, we remember a person, we listen to a voice of a person, we immediately think that that person is like my son or daughter. Mātāyatāniyam puttam āyusāyika puttam anurakti. If a mom loves her son or daughter like her own life, when we meet a person in this world, we have that attitude. This is the highest position of practicing metta bhavana. If we can maintain our loving kindness in this level, it means we are so happy, since anger doesn't disturb our peace of mind. These 3 things, generosity, 5 precepts, and metta bhavana, these 3 things are very important to achieve the real happiness, overcoming suffering. When we come to this level, we understand the precious jewels in this world. What are the precious jewels, very valuable jewels in this world? The 3 gems, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Always we remember the Supreme Buddha's noble qualities, his great compassion and great wisdom. And also always he remember his noble message, sublime message. And also you always remember the qualities of the noble disciples of the Supreme Buddha. Always we live with these three things, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Here we discuss four things in the mundane level for our happiness. What they are: practicing generosity, practicing 5 precepts, practicing metta bhavana, and the confidence or devotion in the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. If you remember these 4 things in a day several times, more times, it means you are happy. That happiness is in this day, today, this moment. That happiness will not come tomorrow. It shows that you are enjoying happiness since already you have achieved your spiritual goals. As the result of these practices, we can be happy that our minds are so pure and happy at this moment. But still we are living in the mundane level based on the conventional truth. What is that? Still we are thinking that there is a world around us. We are doing meritorious deeds, good karma. But still we think that there is a world around us. Even though we practice these qualities in our lives, we are not away from delusion or ignorance completely. In the second level of Buddhist path, Buddha explains the highest understanding that we achieve for our real liberation. What is the highest understanding about the world? There is a world, material world. We can contact the world at this moment. We can contact something through our eye, through our ear, through our nose, through our tongue, through our body. When we contact something, we can see a material world. But when we understand it, the first experience based on the material world has already ceased, already vanished, disappeared. For an example, when you eat something, when you enjoy with your food, immediately you look at the plate. You look at the food which is in the plate. When you enjoy some food, you think that the food is in the plate, that now I am tasting. Is it true? Is it true? If you taste some food at this moment, is that food is in the plate? No, that food is in your mouth. Is that food is beautiful? Good smell? No. Whenever you taste something, that food is in your mouth. But always we look at the food which is in the plate. We never think the food which is in the mouth. Always we are looking at the plate. We are tasting something, having something in our mouth. This is the example of our all the experiences. When you see this world, this is like the food which is in the plate. What you understand? You understand your mind, mental formations and mind consciousness. That is your life. It doesn't mean that there is no material world. Actually, there is a material world. That material world is in our first experience when we contact something through our senses. We should have our senses based on the material world. We can contact something through our senses at this moment, but when we remember, when we understand something, we recognize everything through our mind consciousness, not through our eye consciousness, ear consciousness, tongue consciousness, nose consciousness, or body consciousness. This is the reality. This is the way how we overcome suffering based on decay, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation. As soon as you see something, you hear something, you taste something, you smell something, you touch something, if you understand, now the material world has ceased. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. Then our mind doesn't depend on anything in the outside world. In the material world or persons, it means our mind has no space in this material world. It means we have overcome decay, sickness, death, separation, sorrow, lamentation. This is the highest understanding of our world. The Buddha says very clearly, whether a Buddha appears or not in this world, this truth is forever. This is an eternal truth. First, we should listen to this message. Next, we should practice Dhamma. What is the highest practice? Mindfulness. Not only we should know this theory, but always we should be mindful in this present moment. Mindfulness is the best friend. We usually find the best friends from the outside world. Actually, those friends may change anytime. But our real friends should be inside. That is inside meditation based on mindfulness. Vision is first. Through listening to Dhamma, first we should gain the knowledge. That is the vision. Then mission. What is the mission? Mission is mindfulness. That mindfulness should be based on right understanding Sammaditthi. Where is the Sammaditthi? The first step of the Noble Eightfold Path. Sammaditthi, right understanding. Samma Sankappa, right intention. Samma Vacha, right speech. Samma Kammanta, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Samma Vayama, right effort. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. And finally, Samma Samadhi, right concentration. Buddha says, Ujjuko nama somaggo abeha nama sadisa. This is the direct path. This is the fearless path. Actually, this is the red carpet that we can go on. In this dispensation, Buddha Sasana, the highest message that we receive as the result of our previous good karma and wishes, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. Your practice, your happiness completely depends on how much, how long you practice these Noble Eightfold Paths in a day. Whenever you speak something, that should be right speech. When you have some actions, that should be right action. When you think something, that should be right intention. When you have some efforts, that should be right effort. When you practice mindfulness, that should be sammasati, right mindfulness. When you concentrate your mind, that is right concentration, and especially right livelihood. Whatever you earned, every cent you earn honestly and righteously. That is samma ajiva, right livelihood. We do all the activities in our lives giving the priority to our spiritual development. Our mind is the most important thing in our life. We do all the activities during the day giving the priority to our mental health, purification of our minds. When you have a very small kid in your home, you protect that kid like your own life. Actually, we should protect our mind also like that, like only son or daughter. Mind is the most important thing in our life. For that, we should be mindful. Mindfulness is the way, the thing that protects our mind. Mind with the protection is that mindfulness. Mind without protection is that unmindfulness. Buddha says, whenever you practice mindfulness, you are near the Supreme Buddha. You have protection, even though Buddha has already passed away. Whenever you practice mindfulness, you are in the shadow of the Buddha. You are near the Buddha. At that moment, nobody or nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Nobody can bring suffering to you. Whenever you are away from mindfulness, where you are in? You are with the evil one, devil, Mara. Mara can control you. Whenever you are mindful, nobody or nothing can control you, since you have made a refuge within you. Whenever you are not mindful, anyone can control you and anyone can bring you suffering. Buddhism is that completely cittanupassana, the contemplation of mind. How do we find it? When we are living in the present moment based on mindfulness. Saragang va cittan saragang cittan 𝒮𝓾. Whenever mind is lustful or greedy, we immediately understand, now my mind has lust or greed at this moment. Vitaragang va cittan vitaragang cittan 𝒮𝓾. Whenever mind has no greed or lust, we immediately understand, now my mind has no lust or greed at this moment. Sadosang va cittan sadosang cittan 𝒮𝓾. Whenever mind is angry, we immediately understand, now my mind has anger. Sometimes you may say that I mostly get angry very soon. Bhante, how I overcome anger? Dear friends in the Dhamma, if you see that you are angry, you are successful. It means you are practicing mindfulness. When anger comes to your mind, you immediately understand, now my mind has anger. This is 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶. You are in practice in the highest level. As soon as you understand, now my mind has anger, then mind gradually purifies from anger. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶. Whenever mind has no anger, because of our mindfulness, we immediately understand, now my mind has no more anger. We should be proud of that. No one can make me angry. That is our success. That is our skill. You can say that I have this average about my GPA, or I have my first degree with first class, I have a master degree with a credit, I have a doctorate. You can say it is very easy. That is not your proud. What is your proud? It is that no one can make me angry. No one can make me jealous. No one can make me lustful. No one can make me greedy. This is our success. This is the nature that we are really happy at this moment. Buddhism always explains the path of happiness. Happiness should be at this moment. If happiness comes tomorrow or in the future, that happiness is not the real happiness. We mostly seek happiness until we die, but we don't enjoy happiness. Always we think that happiness is in the future. That is why we wish better tomorrow than today. That tomorrow never comes until we die. If it is a real happiness, it should be today. It should be at this moment. By purifying our mind based on mindfulness, we are happy at this moment. Finally, we understand vimuttang va cittang vimuttam cittam pajanati. When mind is liberated, we understand my mind is liberated. How do we understand it? When we are living at this moment, if we think there is a world around us at this moment, that is the nature of bhava, or the process of becoming. It sounds that we are ready to come back to the world. Our mind depends on this world, the material world of persons. It means we live with ignorance. It means we are not liberated. It doesn't sound that there is no material world. Actually, there is a material world which consists with the four fundamental elements: solidity, fluidity, heat and motion. Based on these four fundamental elements, there is a material world in this world. That material world depends on our senses at this moment. These senses based on the present mental situation. As human beings, we see the world like this. There are some walls here. We can't go through the wall according to our world as human beings. But if there is a ghost here, he can see the walls, but he can go through the wall. His sensual world is different from us. Not only that, Now we can see only these things which are in this world. If we can develop our mentality, mind, with psychic energies, divine eye, then we can see not only this world, through these walls, we can see many things in this world. That is why this world depends on our senses based on our present mental situation. Not only that, we can contact something at the moment through our senses, but when we understand it, the very first experience based on the material world has already ceased. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness. When we understand something through our mental consciousness, mind consciousness, the material world has already ceased. If we can keep our attention in this reality based on mindfulness, it means our mind has no space to depend on in this material world. If our mind has no space to depend on this material world, what happens to us? We have no decay, no aging, no sickness, no death. This is 𝒮𝓾. We always wish 𝒮𝓾 nirvana labeva. Mata 𝒮𝓾 nirvana labeva. We always wish. This is the way how we achieve the reality without death, sickness, and aging or decay. For that, we have to practice mindfulness again and again based on the Noble Eightfold Path. Our spiritual map is that the Noble Eightfold Path. This is the most valuable thing that we receive in this Buddha Sasana, 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐢𝐻 ℒ𝒶𝓃. The very first thing that we should believe in that the world arises and ceases at the moment. This is the ultimate truth that we should listen to as the Buddha's message. This is the vision. As soon as we receive the vision, we should meet the mission, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. In short, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, virtue, concentration, and wisdom. And also, Buddhism explains vision, mission, and also the results. What is the results? Releasing from the material world or persons. As the result of the releasing from the material world, we release from the suffering, aging, sickness, decay, death, separation, all the sufferings we can overcome. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, always we should live contemplating on this reality. No matter whatever you do, you can go to school, university, you can study, you can go to workplace, you can associate anyone, you can play, you can do anything. But you can't overcome suffering associated in the world like this. If you want to overcome suffering, we should keep our attention in this highest reality, what the Blessed One explained. Giving the priority to practice in the highest level in our life, we can do anything. We can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. but we do all the activities in our day-to-day life giving the priority to practice. We understand how suffering arises and how suffering ceases. Whenever our minds depend on the material world, we consist with suffering. Whenever our mind has released from the material world, we have overcome suffering. This should be our highest understanding, and also this should be our highest intention. It means we do happily at this moment. As the result of this practice, again we can remember our first stanza we have explained in first. Arogya Paramalabha. Health is the highest gain. Santutti Paramandanam. Happiness or contentment is the greatest treasure. Visasa Paramanyati. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Nibbana Paraman Sukham. Enlightenment or Nibbana is the highest bliss. Arogya Paramalabha. It doesn't mean just our physical health, but our mental health. Physically we can be healthy. It is not difficult. But the most important thing, that mental health. What is the mental health? We live happily without anger among the people who are angry. That is our health. Let's live happily without greed among the people who are greedy. That is our success. Let's live happily without defilements, without negative thoughts, like the radiant beings among the beings who have defilements or negative thoughts in their minds. And also, let's live happily without ignorance among the people who are ignorant. That shows our mental health. That mental health is more important than our physical health and physical appearance. Santutti Paramandanam. Contentment is the greatest treasure. That contentment or happiness is not in future. That happiness is in this moment. When you have a very small child, you are happy with your child in that age. When your children are going to college, high school or university, you are happy at that age of your children. We never think that I will be happy after my son is going to university. When your son is going to university, he is not near you. You are alone at home when your children are in the university. But always we wish our happiness in the future. Actually, real happiness should be in the present moment with your children, with your parents, with your relatives, with your study. When you go to college or university, be happy with your colleagues, with your friends. Purifying your minds. Practicing loving kindness meditation. Practicing generosity. Practicing Panchasila. And also, always we are mindful at the present moment. Whenever we are mindful, it means we are happy at this moment. If you are mindful, you never think that your happiness is in the future. Whenever you are mindful, you know that very well your happiness, your contentment is in this moment, this present moment. This present moment is very pure and calm. It is very peaceful. Okay, dear friends, in the Dhamma, we explain the Buddha's message gradually from the beginning to end. The very first thing is practicing generosity, then practicing 5 precepts, next practicing metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation, and we find the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha in our lives through associating with the triple gem. We receive the highest message in Buddhism, which is mindfulness based on the Noble Eightfold Path. Then we understand Vissasa Paramanyati. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. In this level, we don't find best kinship from the outside world, since we have made the best friend within us, which is mindfulness. Mindfulness, our best friend. The way how we practice mindfulness is that breathing in and out mindfully. Anapanasati bhavana, mindful breathing. If you want to see the beauty of your life, please practice Anapanasati bhavana, mindful breathing. This is the way how we live with us. If you want to see the beauty of your life, please practice mindful breathing, Anapanasati bhavana, as much as you can. The Buddha says very clearly, if you practice breathing meditation correctly, according to what the Blessed One explained, all the spiritual faculties gradually increase. Fourfold mindfulness, 5 spiritual faculties, 5 powers, 7 enlightenment factors, the Noble Eightfold Path, all the spiritual faculties gradually increase as the result of practicing breathing meditation, according to what the Buddha taught. As the result of practicing breathing meditation, we live in the present moment. And also we understand the material world has already ceased. When I recognize something, I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. Then mind has no space to depend on in this material world. If mind has no space in this material world of persons, it means we have overcome suffering, decay, aging, sickness, death, or separation. Okay, friends in Dhamma, if you have a question, you can ask. Children, Dhamma friends, our Dhamma sisters, if you have a question, you can ask. The message of the Buddha is the way how to live happily, how to live easily. Practicing Dhamma is the easiest way to live in this world. Whenever we are away from Dhamma, we have a lot of difficulties and problems. Whenever you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you have no any problem. Practicing Dhamma is the easiest way how to live happily in this world. Practicing Dhamma is the best way how to live happily at this moment. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, I really appreciate your participation and practicing generosity. You all are warmly welcome to the Bhavana Society. By the power of listening to Dhamma, you cultivated your spirituality. By the power of this spirituality that we accrue at this moment, may all your spiritual and education goals meet its success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Dukkham pantāca niddukkhaṃ Bhayam pantāca nidbhayam Sokam pantāca nissokham Hontu sambe pipanino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they get rid of suffering. May all of them attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.